Chelsea and Tottenham currently London's top two teams in the Barclays Women's Super League, and it's Spurs who get the game underway in their white shirts, defending the goal away to our right in the first half. Here is Naz, closed down by Carpenter, and the final touch was off right in Canary, and it will be a throw-in for Spurs. Nielden, now Naz. Naz does have the pace, but of course so too does Ellie Carpenter. And Martin Ho has quietly been very effective as the new Spurs coach so far. And we mentioned Ellie Carpenter, Jenna Scalacci, and it's interesting Lucy Bronze is back on the Chelsea bench here today, because that's going to be an interesting conundrum for Sonia Bonpastor at some stage.
Absolutely. I mean, two world-class fullbacks there, and obviously Lucy Bronze out injured, and Ellie Carpenter has come in and really sealed that spot. She's been absolutely fantastic. You know, she has a lot of experience at just the 25 years of age as well, Champions League winner. But yeah, I mean, she's been fantastic so far. She has that desire to get up the pitch. Her deliveries into the box are phenomenal. So yeah, Lucy Bronze may have to be patient in biding her time to get back into this squad. But you know, Ellie Carpenter coming in, a world-class player. I think it breeds competition at the training ground for Lucy Bronze. No shirts guaranteed to any player, but yeah, I mean, two fantastic players there battling it out for that position. But we saw last season Lucy Bronze, her versatility to play across that back line, so you know she can fit in as centre-back as well.
Eva Jones, the player who was fouled there. The goal-scoring streak in the Women's Super League came to an end at Manchester United. Now Carpenter. And Bjorn all the way back to Hampton. And Millie Bright making her 300th appearance for Chelsea today. 8 WSL titles and 6 FA Cups. Thompson. Terrific break into the penalty area. And it whistles over the top. An early glimpse of her talents.
Absolutely. Just see here, Thompson picking the ball up and the change of pace to beat Neville. Neville lunges in there. And then Thompson only one eye on goal. See what she's trying to do, bend it in. But great start for Thompson. Again, deadly. I think Ashley Neville will need to be defensively better there, standing on her feet. Not making it easy for Thompson, but yeah, Thompson looks like some player out there.
Well, Ashley Neville has really been a symbol in many ways of Tottenham's rise into the Women's Super League and establishing themselves at the highest level. But it could be a real test for her here today. Back to Kopp. Now the teenager Koga, the Japanese international, signed from Feyenoord. Neville. Thompson breaks it up, and it almost breaks kindly. But then it's one back, and here is Bright again for Chelsea. Bjorn. Chelsea winning all 11 WSL meetings, scoring 27 goals. Right in Canary. Closed down well by Hunt, but it will be the game's first corner.
Good play out on the right-hand side. Spots the run of right in Canary in that half space, and Claire Hunt does very well to track the run, cover her fullback, and get the block in.
Millie Bright makes that run towards the near post. It's beyond her. I think it was the player coming in behind who got the header on goal, but it's behind for a goal kick in the end.
It was Bjorn with the header. All in. Great header. There's lots of bodies around. Just wanted to shy of the post. Bjorn claiming. Tottenham defender had the touch.
Lizzie Kopp being tested on the ground in the early stages, and once again Spurs have given up possession cheaply.
That's how Martin wants his team to play, playing out from the back, but the quality on the ball, the passes into each other across that back line have to be almost perfect when you're coming up against a Chelsea team attacking line as they are today.
That's nicely done on this near side by Vinberg, who is back in the team today. Naz was demanding the ball, but maybe just drifted offside. Here is England. Now Hunt. Koga finding herself quickly under pressure, and someone playing the ball around the corner, and now Chelsea win it back. And of course they work so hard without the ball as well. Beaver Jones. But Charles all the way back to Hampton.
Yeah, Attonen just caught in possession there in the centre of the pitch. Cuthbert breathing down her neck. She was quick to recover then to get behind the ball, and I think that's what's been very good about this Tottenham team this season. Out of possession, their work rate, the whole team looked fitter, their desire to win the ball back. Martin said he wants the team to be brave. They will make mistakes while doing that, but it's that work rate off the ball to retrieve the ball that he's looking for.
Tottenham with 4 wins already. They only won 5 games in the whole of last season. And that was enough to see the end of Robert Wilhelm in charge. Cuthbert takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner.
Lacia Thompson there again. Magic feet, drifting infield. Cuthbert gets the shot, gets the initial touch out, and only with one thing on her mind there is that shot on target, and Simon gets the block. Again, you see the Tottenham players, 3 players around Cuthbert the minute she's got the ball at her feet.
And Cuthbert will now take the corner kick. Drifted in towards that near post. Bright with the touch. And it's over the top. Ashley Neville, though, just deflecting the ball away. And we've seen already in this game that if Spurs are to take anything from it defensively, they're going to have to be switched on for 90+ minutes. Cuthbert's delivery again, and again it's glanced on, and there's confusion there before Lizzie Kopp clutches the ball gratefully, and Beaver Jones was in there at the near post.
Was Beaver Jones making the run, lost a marker there, just flicking it on into the 6-yard box. Scrappy, but it fell kindly into the hands of Kopp.
Tandberg was coming short, and she's won the free kick, and she's very good at that. Of course, she scored the goals, but she can also join up the play very effectively.
Yeah, she's so hungry. Her work rate off the ball has been so impressive so far. See there, she's dropping right back to help her team. Very clever, very strong. Isn't scared at all to put herself about.
The Australian Hunt, signed from Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea playing Paris FC, the other team in the French capital in the Women's Champions League, coming up this week after that draw away to Twente, which came in for a degree of criticism, certainly from our side of the fence, from various onlookers. Of course, a number of changes made, and Chelsea could have no real complaints about the outcome. Jessica Nance closing down Carpenter, and Nance will have to do so much defensive work today as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As last week was fantastic. She looked back to her best. She's confident. She's a player that needs an arm around her, and I think Martin has given her that. You can see he trusts her, and last week her assist against Brighton was Jess back in peak form, I think. So today, yeah, she's going to have to work both ways, up and down the pitch. Ellie Carpenter, a fullback that loves to get forward and has electric pace, so will be a good battle between the pair today.
Ashley Neville will take the throw-in. Tottenham's longer serving player now, made her first start of the season last week. Challenge comes in from Artinen, but here is Beaver Jones. Artinen is back there again, and it's dug out by Neville. Naz. It's nicely around the corner, but Naz is quick, but not that quick.
Tottenham have done well there defensively again. Bodies around every blue shirt in that final attacking third, and then when they do retrieve the ball, they don't look panicked, they look calm, they look composed on the ball. It's just that final pass through. Quality just needs to be better, because one thing's for sure, when you're playing against a team like Chelsea, you're not going to have too many opportunities, but those that you do, you need to be clinical.
Here is Wrighton Canary in behind Neildon, and she continues, but coming across to cover was Hunt, and it will be another corner kick.
That was a good ball. Very direct play there. Bjorn spotting Canary's run. She gets in behind, gets on the right side of Neildon, and then Hunt again in the right place just to cut out that danger.
But at the moment, Tottenham at risk of paying a high price for giving the ball away, as another set piece finds a Chelsea head. But the key thing for Spurs at the moment is that even if they're not winning those headers, they're also challenging, so it's not a free header.
Absolutely, they've got to make it difficult for Chelsea. You can't afford to gift them with anything, because the quality of play they have, they are so clinical. We'll have to be ready to surrender the ball a lot this game, and be really focused and switched on out of possession and resilient.
Tottenham with their first break forward here in the shot from Tandberg is deflected behind, and Spurs have their first corner, and that's the sort of play that someone like Vinberg can produce, and Tandberg very sharp around the penalty area at the moment.
Yeah, second glimpse there of Vinberg with the ball at her feet, just driving her team forward, driving into that space, and got her head up, found Tandberg top of the box. Deflection, but yeah, Tandberg, she can make any, magic, moments of magic we've seen, and she doesn't need clear-cut opportunities. But here's a moment now that these corners, set pieces, are going to be really important.
And Hampton has to fist that away. That was heading in, and it will be another corner kick.
Yeah, fantastic from Hampton. Hasn't had much to do in the opening 12 minutes, but had to be alert, demanding her box. It's a strong fist. She had bodies around her. She's confident, and she's cleared it.
I think Hampton claiming she was fouled. For the second corner here for Spurs, after incessant Chelsea pressure at the start of this game, and it's deep again and guided away by Charles. Wrighton Canary will keep the ball in play, and she's closed down by Arton. And Chelsea with 5 attempts on goal in the opening 10 minutes of the game, but only 1 on target. But Spurs certainly have more of a threat going forward than they did for much of last season, when they ended the campaign with only 3 points in 10 games, and really they were helped out by the fact that Crystal Palace was so far behind everybody else.
Yeah, they really struggled in front of goal last season, and Beth England had some injuries, so it was difficult, because there was no one else on that pitch that looked like they could take the reins in a goal-scoring point of view. But now with Tandberg, you've got a player who so far has shown her strengths inside the box, and it takes that pressure off of Beth England. And if Beth England is to take a knock, you've still got goals across the pitch. So I think she's signing of the season so far in the WSL for me. Just everything. She looks exciting. She looks so hungry. She knows where that goal is, but she's also really important out of possession for this Tottenham team. She's the trigger for that press, that aggressive press, which has been key.
And against a team like Chelsea, everybody has to press together. If one person goes, that's almost worse than nobody going.
Yeah, it's important they get it right, because there's been times they haven't, and they've got away with it. But against a Chelsea team like that, it's got to be spot on.
Here is Naz, and Carpenter shoving her over just outside the penalty area, and it's a yellow card for Ellie Carpenter, shown by Grace Lowe, the referee.
Yeah, it was a really good first touch from Jess Naz. Touch across Carpenter's body. It's a really tricky situation for Carpenter to defend. I think Jess has got the better of her, and she's had to kind of take one for the team there, Carpenter.
Well, that all came from Tottenham releasing the ball quicker from midfield, and that will always give players like Naz the opportunity.
Yeah, I think when you hold on to the ball too long in those midfield areas, it gives Chelsea the opportunity to get back in and defend and get bodies in front of you to frustrate you. So much better there for Summonen, spotting the run of Naz.
And Summonen over the free kick here with Vinberg. Summonen may even fancy this. There's an inviting gap towards the near post, left by Hannah Hampton at the moment. Summonen goes for that, but it lacked power.
And she was trying to fool everyone there. She's gone for the drilled effort, but no power at all, as you say, and straight into the arms of Hannah Hampton.
And that's a waste for Tottenham, because against a team of Chelsea's quality, you need to make the most of every set piece.
Yeah, and Summonen's got that quality. She'll be disappointed there. You've seen her score from set pieces in and around the box.
Vinberg, now Neville. Good spell this for Spurs. One back by Beever-Jones from Artinen. And here is Thompson. And very quickly, Chelsea turn defence into attack. Thompson looking for option square. Cuthbert thunders the shot into the body of Summonen. Bjorn. And Walsh going back to Bright. Carpenter. It's covered well by Neildon.
Tottenham have got to be really aware of the speed of the counter-attack, that threat that Chelsea pose. Was Thompson again, who just drives through out on that wing, her pace, that change of pace. Tottenham find it difficult to manage.
Right in Canary. Now Charles. Thompson. And again, it's a desperate challenge, this time from Neville, and it's another corner kick.
Yeah, gets it right that time, Neville. It's the block in. Again, Thompson at the heart of it.
Chelsea's fifth corner already. And it will be another in-swinger. Right, makes that move to the near post with Beever-Jones. Good leap, though, by Neville. Thompson, Cuthbert. Thompson. And the header is flighted wide in the end from Captain. He's been among the goals recently.
Yeah, she found herself in space there, Captain. Blair Hunt reacted too slow. Free header, but just couldn't guide it on target.
Yeah, Captain with 2 goals in 2 games after 2 in the previous 19 for Chelsea. And it was an excellent goal last week up at Manchester United, made by Caterina Macario, who is on the bench today. And the quality on the Chelsea bench is frankly scary for anybody else. But Tottenham holding their own here at the moment. Right in Canary. Carpenter. And Captain. Neildon makes the challenge, but Captain stays on her feet, and Neildon has to concede another corner kick.
Good strength from Captain there. Almost barging Neildon off the ball. Does well to get the corner in, but Tottenham are under a lot of pressure here, and they've got to remain focused. They've got to remain resilient and patient, not get frustrated by Chelsea.
Cuthbert will deliver this corner in. And it's very deep. Charles just forcing Walsh back. Now Carpenter. Spurs again looking for that pace of Naz, and she got goal side of Carpenter, and Carpenter though was quick enough to recover. But it will be in Tottenham's interest to really target Ellie Carpenter now on that yellow card.
Absolutely, I think Jess is getting the better of her time and time again. It's clear that when Tottenham do win that ball back, Jess is their outlet at the moment, and Jess, with the confidence, the form that she's in, I think she'll back herself, especially as you mentioned, Carpenter on the early yellow card.
Chelsea with marginally more possession at the moment. Here is Wrighton Canary coming inside onto that left foot. Waiting for Carpenter, streaking forward on the overlap, and here she is. Very deep. Thompson was waiting, but Neville got there first.
Canary looked frustrated there. She'd held her run. She was waiting for the ball back from Carpenter. A little cutback, but Carpenter got her head up.
Carpenter again, but Neildon is able to make the challenge. Beaver Jones. Now Carpenter. Wrighton Canary. All these combinations for Chelsea make it so difficult for the opposition, and when the cross is delivered, Neville again is on the end of it.
I think Neville was taking any risks there. Body position towards her own goal. Gone for safety there, headering it straight out rather than taking any risks. But good play, patient build-up play there from Chelsea out on the right-hand side. Short, shot passes.
Corner kick into that clutch of bodies at the near post. Beaver Jones blocking the clearance, and then Neville able to step in and hoof the ball clear.
Yeah, look how deep Tottenham are now. This isn't a situation that Tottenham will want to get into, to be pinned back by Chelsea. To be able to get higher up the pitch, enjoy a bit more of the possession in Chelsea's half rather than in their own half.
First goal has gone in elsewhere. Look at the action areas first, though, and of course, no surprise, it's been mainly around the penalty area, which Tottenham are currently defending. But Everton have scored the opening goal against Manchester United. Honoka Hayashi. It's 1-0 to Everton against the team who drew with Chelsea last week. Now Bjorn. And here is Bright, midway through the first half, and Chelsea have largely dominated. 7 shots on goal, but none of them into the back of the net yet. But here is Beaver Jones. Kopp, though, was brave.
Yeah, really brave from Kopp. She had to be alert, and that she was. Excellent play again from Thompson. A cute little pass just to split through the fullback and the defender. It was Cuthbert there holding it up. Here, this little pass, really, really good, and fantastic save from Kopp.
Lizzie Kopp with 3 clean sheets already. Of course, she conceded 5 against Manchester City, but Tottenham have only conceded 1 goal elsewhere so far in the WSL. They've been pretty solid that game apart in their wins against West Ham, Everton, Leicester and Brighton. Wrighton Canary. Neildon. Well, the corner count will be in double figures soon.
There isn't a lot of it. Chelsea's joy is coming out in these wide areas through Thompson, through Canary. Both Neville and Neildon have their hands full.
So many of these corners so far have been in towards that near post area where it's been so congested. Cuthbert, though, going short this time to open out the angle. Thompson. Carpenter. Well, that's short. I think Tandberg was eyeing a counter-attack there, but Bright wins it back. It's cleared as far as Thompson. Walsh. I think the ball has gone out there and Tottenham will have the throw-in.
Yeah, I think they just need to take their time here with this throw-in, just calm the game down a bit. They just can't seem to make the ball stick.
But it's a busy time for Chelsea, and Tottenham may be looking to capitalise on that. Of course, they do have a big squad, and there was heavy rotation in the Netherlands on Wednesday night, and Paris FC coming up next, and Barcelona and Wolfsburg are also on the agenda before Christmas for Chelsea. in the UEFA Women's Champions League. So the depth of that squad will be tested. Players like Sam Kerr, Gura Wright and Lucy Bronze on the bench today. Bright. Superb control from Wright and Cannereed. Carpenter is held up by Neildon. Just wonder how long Tottenham can defend in this manner. Against most teams in the Women's Super League, if you're solid, that can often be enough, but maybe not today.
Yeah, I think when you come up against Chelsea, it's a different ball game, but one thing Tottenham have been defensively is resilient this season, and they've managed to hang on and grind out results.
Wright and Cannereed. Cuthbert. Walsh. Blocked by England. Bright. Thompson. Looking to tease Neville again. But Neville, in the end, just stood her ground.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do when you come up against a player like Thompson with that pace. She's very tricky, very skillful, can play off both feet. It's so important you stand them up and make them make a decision rather than lunging in and making it easy for them to beat you.
Bright. Now Charles. No Sandy Baltimore in the squad today. Well, the pass completion really tells you where so much of the player's been heading, but Tottenham are defending with resilience at the moment, and also that degree of togetherness you always need against Chelsea. But here is Thompson again, the injection of pace and the cross. And Thompson almost ends up in the crowd, but once again it's repelled by Spurs.
Yeah, really good. She just slows the game down, doesn't she? And then she knows when to get the burners on and just flies past Ashley Neville again. She's dominating those 1v1 situations out on the right-hand side and nearly lost her there behind the stand.
She looks to be okay. It was one of those hoardings which moves, which is a good thing. Bright, that's blocked. Bright and Cannereed, and again Aiton was in the way this time.
I think I just counted 4 white shirts in and around Millie Bright. That's what I mean. Millie Bright with the first nudge down, and Claire Hunt there, I think, with the vital block.
Fisted clear by Cott. Not conclusively, though, and in the end, Lindberg will try and run the ball away. She's closed down by Bright. It will be a goal kick. That corner was Chelsea's 10th in the 28th minute, but they've not scored, and Tottenham will take so much from that.
Absolutely, I think Chelsea would be disappointed. 10 corners, the quality that they've got, you'd expect far better from them, and they need to start converting it. But yeah, as you say, I think Tottenham will be happy with the way they've defended. As you can see from that last corner, bodies everywhere, sea of white shirts every time Chelsea get the ball, and they'll celebrate those blocks and those clean sheets.
Well, the stats heavily in Chelsea's favour in every aspect apart from the score. Thompson. Neville again having to use all of her defensive resourcefulness, but she's helped out, and it's cleared as far as Bright. Walsh. Charles. Now Cuthbert. Bjorn. Carpenter. And Tottenham always looking to force her back inside. Bjorn. Now Wright and Cannereed. It was Captain Carpenter. Captain again. Neildon just getting a foot in.
The recovery work, the work rate again from Tottenham, excellent in that penalty box. Chelsea are having to be really, really patient in their build-up play, waiting for those moments, finding those pockets of spaces. The fluidity in positions across Chelsea's attacking line is difficult for this Tottenham defensive unit to keep track of. But the minute it's in that box, there's a sea of white shirts putting their bodies on the line again.
Well, Chelsea won 7 games 1-0 in the Women's Super League last season, so they are content to grind it out at times as Carpenter looks to deliver another cross in, but very quickly 2 Spurs players were out to challenge it, but it will be another corner kick. Cuthbert will take this. 11 corners and 11 shots now, but only one of those on target. Beaver-Jones towards the near post. Doesn't quite get the flick on, and then the nutmeg on Thompson there, and Spurs will try and break, and it's an optimistic shot from Vinberg, and one which suggested she had no real support.
Yeah, almost looked like a tight shot there. She saw Hampton off her line. Didn't execute it at all. It's in those moments, from a Tottenham point of view, you want to be better, manage that better, hold the ball up, wait for your teammates to join in the attack and not just give the ball straight back to Chelsea because the pressure comes again.
Well, Tamberg scored from close to the halfway line against Everton earlier this season, but she was slightly better set than that. Here is Thompson taking on Neville. And that's been a familiar story so far. It really is one-way traffic, but you've got to give credit to Tottenham for the way they are keeping Chelsea out at the moment.
Yeah, they're hanging on, but you can see them defensively growing and celebrating every block there, but...
I'm not sure he is.
No, he doesn't look happy.
I think Martin Ho would rather Tottenham have more of the ball further up the field, but that's life when you play a team as good as Chelsea. Cuthbert's corner again. Great claim by Kopp.
From Kopp there, Khan demanding, controlling her 6-yard box. Just bringing that calm across the back line.
Chelsea have so often taken control of games early on this season. No one scored more early goals, and of course they were 3 up in 15 minutes recently against West Ham, but now it really has become a game of patience as Thompson goes down, having run into the challenge of Kopp.
England there just apologising to Neville. It's a heavy pass. Neville couldn't get hold of it, and of course Thompson again driving to that byline, causing Tottenham all sorts of problems out on this left-hand side. Pace is electrifying.
Neville had a problem there, as we can see, because once Thompson's inside the penalty area at that pace, you can't really do too much.
No, absolutely. It's a defender's worst nightmare.
Tamberg losing out, then a slip by Hunt, which he's able to recover. And already I'm sure that Martin Ho and his backroom team have eyes firmly fixed on half-time here, and maybe getting there at 0-0 and having the opportunity to reset. England, of course, she was so successful here at Chelsea, mainly as an impact player from the bench in the latter years, but she loved a goal in London derbies. 18 in total she has, but only 1 in 8 games against Chelsea. Writing Canary. On the legs of Neildon, here is Carpenter. And again, it's defended well. It was Artanen, and handball against Writing Canary in the end.
Yeah, it was good work from Carpenter there. This time, Jess Naz caught on the wrong side of her, and again, she can't challenge her because Carpenter's made the run into the box just here, popped through the legs, and then her first touch is excellent into the box, and Jess Naz can't make the tackle because of the pace that Carpenter brings.
And Artanen trying to play out from inside the penalty area, maybe slightly fortunate she got the handball call in the end, although it was a correct one. And a header away by Bright will fall to Vinberg here. England in support, but Vinberg tries a trick, just slips, but still delivers the cross in, and Walsh has to cover that, and it will be a Spurs corner.
Yeah, Vinberg there, I thought the moment had been gone. but she manages to recover and get the cross in, and don't think they'll be in any hurry to take this at all, but you can see Hunt going up, Beth England's up there, Koga's up there. These are the moments, the small details that could make a difference for Tottenham. They have to capitalise on set pieces.
Well, the previous one from this side forced Hannah Hampton to fist away from almost underneath the crossbar, and slightly deeper this time. England on the end of that. That's blocked. And then Summonen on the edge of the penalty area trying to deflect it wide. Nielden looking for Vinberg, but Chelsea will clear. Neville did well to judge that. Summonen, she will come away with the ball here. Artinen. But here is Beever-Jones. Writing Cannereed was a blur already to her right, but she doesn't quite use her.
Yeah, Koga did really well there. Just putting the pressure on Beever-Jones, not allowing her to play forward and allowing her teammates to get back to defend.
Thompson almost riding the challenge of Neville, and in the end Chelsea do get a throw in, but Tottenham have got through so much defensive work so far in this game.
It's in those moments when they're higher up the pitch. You saw Summonen and Atinen.
Beever-Jones and the cross in towards Captain, but Koga is able to clear. But it's a free kick here. England's nudge on Bright. Chelsea have a set piece here. In fact, it was Tanberg who was holding on, although Bright also had hold of her, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's Tanberg just doing her defensive duties again, not making it easy for Millie Bright. But now they've got another set piece to defend. Stay focused.
Free kick, which Thompson and Cuthbert are over. And in the end, Beever-Jones may look to hit this. And she does. Of course, she scored against West Ham with a terrific free kick a couple of weeks ago, but that one swirling too high.
Yeah, that was a fantastic free kick, but this one here, you can see she gets it over. Way off target. She stepped up to take that free kick weekends ago, and what a quality that was. So not surprised to see her do it again, but couldn't execute it this time. Just going back to what I was saying about Summonen and Atinen in that centre of midfield, when they do have the ball, they've got to be better with it, not just give it away again, because the turnover and that speed of the counter-attack is continuing to cause Tottenham problems.
Right in Cannery. Carpenter. Here is Bright. So there we are, 26 clearances from Tottenham so far, and they may need another one here as Cuthbert has been caught, but Spurs have got through so much work so far. But there's more to come, because Thompson playing in Cuthbert, and challenge there by Artinen going shoulder to shoulder, and in the end just catching Cuthbert in the follow-through.
I think Artinen had to make the challenge there. Cuthbert's touch across her made it really difficult to defend again, and I feel like I'm saying it again, another set piece for Tottenham to defend.
Only one goal elsewhere so far, and no goals here. Cuthbert's free kick, and Kopp again showing really good reach and safe hands.
Yeah, really good from Kopp there. Chelsea not really attacking that free kick this time. It was quite a comfortable save.
And Kopp eventually delivering the ball away, but here is Wrighting Cannereed. Almost drops for Cuthbert. It was Koga who was able to clear and find England. And England just stumbling slightly, and one or two Spurs players have done that, and in the end Chelsea win the ball back. Right in Cannereed. And it will be a goal kick, but Lizzie Kopp is having a good day so far.
Yeah, she is. Here we'll just
but not
see.
here.
Beaver Jones, clever. Really clever, but Kopp just not being alert there to Beaver Jones breathing down her shoulder there.
Well, Chelsea trying everything now to get the opening goal because they've played well, no question. All that's missing is the finish, but they're coming up against a brick wall at the moment.
Yeah, it's those deliveries into boxes. I think Tottenham are defending them well. They're kind of there for the first and second ball, and they're hunting in packs. They're showing that resilience. I think as the game goes on, if it follows the same theme, can Tottenham keep their focus? Because they're going to start to tire because they're having to surrender the ball. They're defending out of possession. Their work rate has been huge. But can they continue?
Well, 43% of the action has been around the Tottenham penalty area, and I'm surprised it's so low, really. They've not offered too much at the other end. They've had one real chance, that corner whipped in, which was fisted away by Hampton. But this will be a concern as well, particularly with no Drew Spence in the team today.
Yeah, it will be. She's been the machine, the heart and soul of their midfield, along with Drew Spence. But it gives Martin an opportunity to get his team in, have a breather, and just hopefully try and see it out to half-time as 0-0. They've defended very, very well. It's just when they do get the ball, they've got to protect it and make more of it, and not hand the ball straight back to Chelsea, because that pressure that they're putting them under it's a lot.
Well, Martin Ho, who arrived after a successful spell in Norwegian football with Brandbergen, but he was an assistant coach in the Women's Super League with both Everton and Manchester United. Also played for Everton in their academy before moving into coaching at a young age. And of course, he inherited a team which finished 11th last season, only Crystal Palace below them, and they finished really poorly, and they never really got the opportunity to build on the experience of reaching the FA Cup final the previous year. Here is Thompson, away from Neville this time. Thompson deep into the penalty area, but again another good challenge by Koga. She's had a fine game. England thunders the ball into Thompson and then got the rebound back into her face, I think. Now Thompson again, and the cross is overhit. Right in Cannereed will try and recover this, but she can't do so.
Yeah, Toko Koga there with the vital block this time, timed it really, really well. Again, the bodies. Ashley Neville's really struggling with Thompson out on that time. You wonder how long it will be until maybe she's got a bit of support from her teammate to double up and stop that threat of Thompson and her pace.
Whose responsibility is that? I was going to say, who should be doubling up?
I think you'd want your player in front of you to track back and help. In this instance, it would be Weinberg, but she's, you know, you've seen she's kind of all over the pitch trying to. But yeah, you need that kind of support, communication. And if not, from the centre back, and then you drop a midfielder into the back line.
Carpenter. Winberg is back here now. Neville now having to deal with Charles. Back towards Walsh, but here is Tanberg. England will try and bring it clear. Naz. It's good football from Tottenham in a tight area. Summonen finding Artinen. And here is Winberg. Thompson coming back to win it, and it was a thunderous challenge as Winberg now comes forward for Spurs as a result. Tanberg and Bright with the back pass to Hampton, who had to deal with that and dealt with it very calmly. So
cool and composed from Hampton there. She had Tanberg and Beth England breathing down her throat, and just so cool, composed in that moment. Not had much to do today, Hampton.
Well, when you are the Chelsea goalkeeper, it's often a test of concentration as well, because you need to be sharp for those rare moments.
Yeah, and the rare moments she's had, she's been alert. Exactly that, she's been alert to it.
It's a free kick in the end for Chelsea as we head into added time. And there will be a minimum of 2 more minutes. Bright using Hampton again. Carpenter. And it was just flicked by Neildon into the path of Beever-Jones, right in Canary, but Neildon is able to recover. Bright's header will fall to Vinberg. Neville. She was on the stretch, so as a result it's straight to Charles.
The ball from Vinberg wasn't good enough there. Neville having to stretch. And then again just giving it back, straight back to Chelsea.
Hampton. Thompson coming short, which will give Charles the opportunity to head in behind. Beever-Jones. Cuthbert in support. Right in Canary. Carpenter on the outside. Chelsea queuing up here for the cross, but it's headed away. Maybe one final chance in the first half. Right in Canary. Neildon looking to stick with her, but there's the cross. Beever-Jones at the far post. Neville leaping. And England will be able to bring it clear. Now Bright. Cuthbert given the room to turn away from Neville. Beever-Jones. So many white shirts around her. Carpenter. Fizzed in and then sent behind by Summonen. And there may just be time for the corner.
Cuthbert twice found some space. Here it is, Canary just whizzing the ball across, and it was Captain. I think she had the slightest of touches but couldn't get any contact on it to trouble Tottenham, but Chelsea playing some of their best football there.
The 13th corner for Chelsea will be the final one of the first half. Played in by Cuthbert. Travels right through the penalty area. Walsh. Now Bright. Fancies it from long range. And that is half-time. Well, it's been attack against defence. Chelsea have had so many opportunities, but Tottenham have defended with real diligence. And as a result, at half-time, it is Chelsea 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
They've got to nullify those threats out in those wide areas. And I think defending their box, they've done very well so far. But it's keeping it up for the whole 90 minutes is a huge ask. But this is a different Tottenham team we're talking about this season. So it'd be interesting to see. I think Chelsea will be business as usual. If anything, they'll be frustrated that they went in as 0-0 after creating so many chances.
Chelsea in the blue, attacking the goal away to our left. Artinen, though, wins it back for Spurs, but only briefly. Here is Walsh. Wide towards Thompson. And she will step in field again. And that's a good ball back towards Cuthbert, but she knew she was offside. And Spurs should be able to clear. Chelsea have not had a 0-0 in the WSL for 80 games. And it was a Friday night match here against Arsenal back in February of 2022. Spurs have to go back 78 games. And that was a match against Reading a month later. So it's 3.5 years since either side had a 0-0 draw. That's the situation at the moment. But Chelsea, of course, always seem to score. And their run of scoring at least once in the Women's Super League now stretches 35 games. But the XG comfortably in Chelsea's favour so far, but Tottenham have managed to nullify them at the key moments. It was only 1-0 back in May when Caterina Macario scored the only goal. Captain. Good challenge though from Summonen. She's had a fine game so far. And here is Naz. England striding forward down the centre. But her former teammate for both club and country, Millie Bright, just nips in.
Yeah, perfectly timed by Millie Bright. It was almost a perfect pass from Naz into the feet, into the path of Beth England. But it's in those moments there that I think Tottenham struggled in that first half when they regained possession to really look after it and hurt Chelsea.
Thompson, and that will beat her into touch. And of course Tottenham look to Kathika Tandberg for their goal since her arrival. Only 10 touches in the game so far, which really tells you a good deal.
Yeah, I think she's been starved of service, really. We haven't been able to see the best of her against this Chelsea team.
Thompson. And it's smuggled behind by Neville for the first corner of the second half.
Thompson straight into the thick of it again in this second half, just driving at Neville.
For Neville, in the main, has played her quite well so far. She was beaten early on, but I think she learned from that.
Yeah, absolutely. That early lunge in the box. And since then, she's learned and is standing Thompson up.
Cuthbert, and it was Bjorn almost kneeing the ball over the crossbar there from close range.
Yeah, it was a good run there from Bjorn, but she had lots of bodies around her. I don't think she saw it till late and tries to get anything on it, and as you say, come off her knee over the bar.
Koga. England. Now Summonen. Tandberg was involved there, and Artinen will try and sweep it wide, and Spurs have just had a lack of quality in that sort of situation when they've had a glimpse of an opening. Yeah,
you saw Tandberg there dropping really deep to support her team, hold the ball up. It was good combination play, and then again that final pass. You'd be frustrated if you was on that pitch as a Tottenham player.
Beaver-Jones. Now Thompson. Well, there's plenty of room here, and Kopp just about makes the save. Well, she clings on at the second or maybe third attempt.
Yeah, Thompson does really well. This time, little step over, cuts infield. Defenders again too scared to take a touch, to take a challenge, and she gets her shot off, and it nearly sneaks in under the arm of Kopp, but she recovers.
Carpenter. Right in Cannery. Carpenter. And it's Naz back defending. And then Artinen and Summonen will combine to clear the two Finns. Here is Tandberg. And that's what she's so good at, showing that strength when she comes back to try and knit things together.
Yeah, she's so good with her back towards the defender, that hold-up play, that strength. She does the ugly side of the game really, really well, putting herself about and surrenders herself for her team, really. But the issue is when she's dropping so deep to support, there's no one in beyond her. But it was Nilden that time that did get high, and pass again just wasn't good enough.
But I'm sure that the Tottenham bench and the Tottenham fans are ticking off the milestones here every 5 minutes.
Oh, they will be, and I think the longer it goes on, they might fancy themselves, you know, that chance on the counter-attack, because we've seen that with this Tottenham team, albeit that Chelsea are a completely different side to any other opponent they've come up against. They do have in Beth England, in Katinka Tandberg, those players that can produce moments of madness. Madness? Magic.
Well, it would be a moment of madness if they score today, considering how this game has gone. Well, it's given away. Here is Cuthbert. Tottenham have only scored 7 times in their 11 games against Chelsea in the Women's Super League. And they've only led once, and that was an own goal from Sophie Ingle. And that was a bizarre game in which Ann-Katrin Berger, the Chelsea goalkeeper, was also sent off. But even then, Chelsea found a way to win by 3-1 at the Hive. Charles. Neville in trouble. Charles continues here and pulls it square, but it's brilliant defending again Cuthbert denied this time. Charles again. Swept in first time, but Kopp was secure.
Yeah, excellent defending. I think it was Nilden in the back post. Charles here just played into space, and Ashley Neville standing up. Charles wiggles through, spots the, I think it's Cuthbert, isn't it? And Nilden, fantastic. Watch the ball whiz across the face of the box.
Here's Beaver Jones, but Kopp was quickly off her line.
Feels like Chelsea are ramping up now, doesn't it? That pressure again.
Naz looking to find Nilden, but once again Carpenter steps in. Carpenter has been playing on a yellow card for a long time, and Spurs have not done much to really try and capitalise on that. Here is Naz as well to poke it through, and Thompson though comes back to intercept, and Chelsea are so quick in that sort of situation. Bright. Chelsea protecting a 30-match unbeaten run in the Women's Super League. Writing Cannery. Nilden sliding in, rather sold herself there, Writing Cannery. And she might go all the way herself, captain Thompson. And the Spurs team really putting their bodies on the line there.
Wow, that is top defending there from Tottenham, but Cannery excellent on the right-hand side. This time it was Nilden lunging in, and she found a way to wiggle through, and she's at it again.
Writing Cannery again, and there's Nilden again. This time she tries to stand on her feet. Carpenter. Bjorn. Carpenter. And that's worked nicely with captain. Driven low, but Hunt is there. Her fellow Australian to hammer the ball to safety.
I think one thing you can say is Tottenham are defending their box so well, aren't they? They're literally throwing everything they have at this Chelsea attack.
There will be a change very soon. Verla Berman and Katerina Macario will be coming on for Chelsea. Here is Thompson. Interesting to see who they take off. And the downward header from Writing Cannery is wide.
Thompson this time going for the early delivery. It's a good ball in at Cannery. Almost flat-footed when it reached her. Here you see that moment against Nilden where Nilden's lunged in, thinks she's getting the block, and fantastic play from her. Cuts it back.
There's Neville stepping in. And it's the sort of game I think Ashley Neville really enjoys. Well, here are the changes, and it's Niamh Charles who's going to be replaced by Katerina Macario. So not really the sort of game where Chelsea need defenders at the moment.
No, absolutely not. And obviously Charles, first game back since fitness.
Captain is also coming across to this near side. And Macario. Will come on. And Verla Berman, a teenage Dutch international, has also come on as well. Berman was the Young Player of the Year in the Dutch League with PSV before moving to Chelsea. Cuthbert. Now Thompson. Neville making the challenge, but Thompson is back again. And here is Cuthbert again. The play allowed to continue. And in the end, it's hammered to safety. Chelsea coming straight back. Macario, her first involvement. So Macario and Berman into the action quickly, but the ball forward from Bjorn will go behind, and once again that just gives Spurs a breather.
Yeah, Spurs there just really organised, compact there, making it difficult for Chelsea to play through, find those spaces, find those passes. Thompson may have had a shout there. She got into a bit of a ruffle with Weinberg in the early stages of that movement.
Martinen, Tannberg, the ball just rearing up and hitting her on the hand, so it will be a free kick. Interesting game coming up next for Chelsea when the Women's Super League resumes on the first day of November, and they welcome London City Lionesses. So another London derby, and that will be an interesting occasion. Spurs at home to Liverpool on that weekend. Still, only one goal in the 4 games currently underway in the Women's Super League, with Everton leading Manchester United. Berman. Now Walsh. Bright. Bjorn. Right in Cannery, unable to control.
Nilden there giving Cannery no time at all on the ball. Forcing the ball off for a throw.
But one thing I think Sonia Bonpastor will be disappointed with is the quality of Chelsea's finishing. They're making the chances, but 21 shots now, only 3 on target.
Yeah, absolutely, and with the attacking threat that they've got on the pitch, you'd expect a lot better from them. I think a lot of that you've got to give credit to Tottenham and the way they've defended this afternoon.
As we saw, Tottenham's shot count is meagre in comparison, but 2 of their 4 have been on target, but they've both rather been trundlers. Walsh. Carpenter. There's the 1-2. The cross taking another deflection and going behind for another corner. And the thing that Tottenham have done well, it seems, Jenna, it's not necessarily the first ball, it's getting to the second ball.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've done it in numbers, in packs, and it's the ugly side of the game that we spoke about earlier. They didn't have that last year, Tottenham. They were kind of too nice, too easy to beat.
Got fisting clear. There is that second ball again, which is hammered to safety. Carpenter! Just over the top.
Oh, she hit it so sweetly. It was rising. You see Kopp, she wasn't sure. She wasn't sure if she had it cleared. Here it is, it's eventually cleared out of the box. 1 thought in her mind, she gets over it with the laces. Just glides over the bar.
Not quite the dip she was looking for.
I think, you know, they've tried everything, Chelsea, so it might be a wonder goal that breaks down this Tottenham defence.
Well, we played an hour. And Tottenham remaining defiant here. Carpenter. Well, we have seen this story a number of times before, and it usually ends with a Chelsea win.
They do. They find a way, don't they? They've got that know-how.
Macario, right in Cannery, away from the challenge. Pull back to Thompson. Brilliant challenge again by Neville. Walsh. She can let fly. Great effort, brilliant goal. And finally, Chelsea find a way. Kira Walsh always guarantees quality, and she delivers once again there.
Yeah, I said it had to be something special there from distance to beat this Tottenham defence, and that was unbelievable strike from Kira Walsh. Touch out of her foot, and then just a diagonal shot across the face of the goal, nestled into the bottom corner. Don't think Kopp stand a chance, but Ellie Carpenter there finds her, and it's just little touch out, head up, and drills it into the bottom corner. It's a fantastic strike. Great footwork to find that extra yard, to lose Beth England, and fantastic from range. Fantastic from Kira Walsh there, just through the laces, into the bottom corner.
Well, nothing Kopp could do this time. And Chelsea finally have the lead. And the yellow card is out here for Amanda Neildon. And what do Tottenham do now?
Well, this will be the test now. They've got to remain focused. They've got to get back to defending how they were. And Martin wants his team to be brave. They won't want to come away from here without fighting and giving everything they've got and going for it. But these are the moments now where they could be their most vulnerable after conceding.
Well, Neildon shown the yellow card for rather lunging in. Macario over the free kick. It's fired low. Walsh encouraged to shoot by the crowd, but she tries to lift it back in, and Tottenham will clear, and there's the glimpse of a counter-attack here for Vinberg, but she's surrounded by blue shirts. But she's done well. And eventually it's worked wide to Neville. Tanberg and England wait in the centre. England will try and knot it down for Tanberg, but in the end Hampton is able to claim.
Yeah, good reaction there from Tottenham. Vinberg there just driving the team up the pitch like she has done on many occasions. And then England, they're just trying to nod it down, but her and Tanberg, Beth England and Tanberg, weren't close enough together to cause any problems for Chelsea and Hannah Hampton.
Martha Thomas is preparing to come on for Spurs. Remember her scoring a goal here for Manchester United on the final day of the season, which just caused a bump in the road for Chelsea on the way to another title. And there has been a goal elsewhere. Melvie Mallard has equalised for Manchester United at Everton. That's her 5th goal of the season. She is currently the top scorer in the Women's Super League, and Naz coming off and Thomas coming on.
Yeah, Naz not had a lot of service. Most of her work has been off the ball today, sacrificing that attacking flair that we know she has in order to support her team defensively.
Chelsea scoring with their 23rd shot of the game. But it was going to take something special to beat Martin Ho's team here today, and now his team will have to try and chase it, but maybe initially just stay in the game. Tanberg, well, she wanted a free kick, didn't get it. Eva Jones will chase, but that will go behind. Well, Martha Thomas hasn't scored in the Women's Super League since December of 2023, and that was the winning goal in the North London derby. So she often comes up with big goals in big moments. Scored the goal that sent Tottenham to Wembley in the FA Cup final as well that season. But I think she'll come on in a supporting role here for Tanberg and try and offer something, because one thing she will offer, she will always be a presence.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's been starved of goals last season, a frustrating season for her, and obviously with the signing of Tanberg as a striker, how that affects you mentally, knowing that she's going to be the preferred number 9 there. But yeah, she's got a time here, a moment to support her teammates and cause an extra threat.
Chelsea extend their scoring sequence to 36 games with that strike from Kira Walsh. Tanberg. Now Macario. Thomas. Here is Berman. Thompson. Berman will go on the outside. I think the ball's intended for Cuthbert, and Cuthbert fouling as Beaver Jones puts the ball in, and it will be a Spurs free kick.
Thompson again. She's so comfortable, isn't she? Either driving at the byline or cutting inside, and that little pass again into the pocket of space. to find her teammates. We've seen it a few times this afternoon. The pass, it just splits the defenders, and it's really difficult. It's almost like her awareness, she's on another level to the Tottenham defensive line at some point during this game.
There's going to be another Tottenham change very soon. Olivia Holt, who was left out today, is preparing to come on. Bright, closed down by Tandberg. Do you think it's been a frustrating day for Tandberg? It's a big game. She's come into the league, made an impact, and she's barely had a kick because Tottenham have barely had the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes as a number 9, these are the games that are frustrating, but you have to sacrifice it for the team. You know you're going to be out of possession for long periods of the game, and it's about your off-ball work, which we've seen time and time again from her this afternoon. But yeah, definitely frustrating that there's been a few times now where she has got the ball and held it up and it hasn't come off just because her teammates are so far back, you know, and she's got no one there upfield to support her. But hopefully with Martha Thomas on the pitch now and Beth England, she has that support a bit more around her. But yes, a completely different game to what she's experienced in the WSL.
England's flick, but here is Berman. Now Bright. Bright was one of the 4 players retained by Sonia Bonpastor for the Champions League game. Carpenter, Bright, Baltimore and Beaver Jones were the only players who started at Twente, who also played against Manchester United. But it's a more familiar looking Chelsea team today and a more familiar Chelsea performance. Berman. Now Thompson. Again, she'll come inside, but this time it's a wayward finish.
Good ball from Berman. Spot the space beyond Thompson, where she's been so effective this afternoon. Again, just breezes past Neville, and you can see she's aiming for that top corner again. Fluffed her lines there, but she's been sensational this afternoon, Alessia Thompson.
Well, 11 touches inside the opposition penalty area. Only 1 shot on target, though, from the 4, but she is such a threat, and we forget she's only 20 years of age.
I know, she's been brilliant from the off in those early moments where she come 1v1 against Ashley Neville.
Beaver Jones, offside.
Hunt there just got caught on the wrong side of Aggie Beaver Jones, didn't know whether to make a challenge.
That is the first offside of the game because Tottenham have been so deep.
Yeah, they've been pinned back, haven't they? They've really been under the cosh for long periods.
Well, it's taken 70 minutes. But we're just going back to Alessia Thompson. Obviously, they bought potential because she's a young player, but she's already here.
She's here. I think she's the present, isn't she? It's a huge shift from her, and she literally hit the ground running from the off. And as a defender, when you've got an attacking player driving at you from minute 1, it gets in your head. But Neville, she's done well, but there's been times where the class of Thompson has been unbelievable for such a young player. Definitely one for the present and the future for Chelsea.
Well, there's a mistake and almost a glimpse there as Bright makes the challenge, and that's a free kick. The challenge on Vinberg, it was Hampton who made the mistake and Bright who ends up with the yellow card.
Yeah. Credit to Vinberg there, just hunting down almost nothing initially. The ball through. Hannah Hampton far too casual. And then Millie Bright can't have too many complaints. She had to make that challenge. Yeah, Hannah Hampton there just switching off. Not used to seeing it from the young goalkeeper.
But this is a chance for Spurs. Bright gets the yellow card and shake of the head from her, but she can't really have too many complaints on that evidence.
No, I think Vinberg's done well this afternoon and just hunting down anything. And, you know, when you're putting that pressure on the keeper, making it difficult for them, they can make mistakes, and that's exactly what has just happened.
But a free kick here for Spurs. Vinberg is over it, along with Summonen, but it would seemingly favour Vinberg with the left foot. Vinberg will curl it into the wall, tries again, there's a ricochet, and kept alive, and then it just scrapes away from Thomas inside the area.
Yeah, free kick, initially straight into the wall stands strong, and then just bouncing around. You can see Martha Thomas there just trying to guide it into the path of Koga. Better from Tottenham, but in those moments, that free kick needed to be, the quality needed to be better.
Kosovari Aslani has scored the opening goal for the London City Lionesses. They lead West Ham by 1-0. It's back to Hampton. And Manchester United have turned things around. Hikaru Kitagawa has put them 2-1 up at Everton. They were a goal down at half-time. So London City Lionesses may be on the way to another 3 points before they face Chelsea in their next game. Koga. Back to Kopp. Summerton. And Tottenham with that opportunity a few moments ago, and it is still only 1-0. Of course, 1-0 was so often the scoreline for Chelsea last season. Bjorn. But Tottenham have played well here today in the way they've been allowed to. And so often they've played the main contenders and just not competed, but they have done that here, and that's whatever happens in the next 17 minutes, that's something Martin Ho will take from this game.
Yeah, and I think even at this stage, 73 minutes in, that you can see they're trying to build, they're trying to create something to get back into this game. But I think, as you say, I think they've done well defensively. They've had so much pressure. They haven't had periods with the ball at all. It's all been without the ball, and that work rate. And
well, there we are, 44 clearances from Spurs, 15 tackles won. It's almost been a defensive masterclass, but they were just beaten by that one goal, and it's taken a spectacular goal to give Chelsea the lead here.
Yeah, I think defending those boxes in, those balls into the box, I think Tottenham have looked quite comfortable. Kopp's been excellent, demanding an area, and always thought it was going to be something special to break down the Tottenham defence, and it was exactly that from Kira Walsh.
Thompson using that blistering pace once again, almost into Macario, but it's cleared as far as Berman. Now Bright. So every game currently underway in the Women's Super League only has a goal in it, heading towards the closing stages. Manchester United benefiting from that own goal from Kitagawa to take the lead. Carpenter wants the free kick, doesn't get it. The clearance though hits Macario. Cuthbert, that's clever. Beaver Jones, and she's closed down by Hunt.
Yeah, good defending initially from Martha Thomas, tracking way back into her own box there with Carpenter, making it really difficult for her. And then Hunt just fires it into Macario, cheeky little back heel, and again Hunt and Koga defending together to get the bodies in the way.
The game between Aston Villa and Leicester is still goalless. But Chelsea have such an outlet here with Thompson.
Really do, time and time again. She's unplayable at times. Found that pocket of space behind the defensive line, and she's just exploiting it every time.
Well, a standing ovation from the Chelsea fans for Beth England. They recognise what she did for this club as she comes off here for Tottenham. It's a double change. Lena Gunning-Williams is one of the players coming on. Scored a few goals, more than a few goals, a couple of years ago for Ipswich, out on loan. And Olivia Holt also coming on, and Chelsea are able to use the depth of their bench here. Alicia Thompson will make way for Guro Reiten, who has had to be content with appearances from the bench in the main so far. And Aggie Beever-Jones will be replaced by Sam Kerr, who has six goals in 6 games against Tottenham in the Women's Super League.
Just what the Tottenham defensive line don't want to see is Sam Kerr coming on, world-class player, finding her fitness again. It just shows the depth that this Chelsea team have within their squad.
Of course, she was out for 20 months with that ACL injury, Sam Kerr. And was given away to Reiten. Reiten heading the ball in field. Now Tottenham looking to break. Tanberg, though, beaten to it by Bright. Reiten. Now Kerr. I think at any other club she'd already be starting, but Chelsea, of course, are able to give her the time to build up her fitness from the bench.
Good defending there from Neville. Kerr just trying to tease her in the box, but Neville was wise to it.
Artinen. Now Hunt. Artinen. And here is Koga. Holt does have a couple of goals so far this season.
I'm surprised she didn't start today, Holt. I think she's been fantastic, a really creative player for Tottenham, and pops up with a sensational goals as well.
Maybe it was a case of trying to sacrifice that creativity for a more solid approach.
Yeah. I think both Beth England and Weinberg could walk off the pitch with their heads held high. I think they put a good shift in. Defensively excellent, both players, and Weinberg, again, being that outlet so many times for her team today.
Bright. As we tick towards the final 10 minutes. Still just that goal from Kira Walsh. Chelsea heading for their 12th successive win. 12 wins out of 12 against Tottenham in the Women's Super League. Kira Walsh with the only goal, and as we can see there, she's had a role to play all over the pitch. She really is the complete midfielder.
Yeah, she is. She pulls those strings in that midfield area, along with Cuthbert, popping up when her team needed her most, just in that pocket between the defence and the midfield, and a wonderful strike from her to put her team in the lead today.
Chelsea have a number of players also unavailable for them as well. Then, when they're all fit, there will be some disappointed players.
Yeah, I mean, look at Lauren James, Myra Ramirez. You got Keisha Buchanan still to come back. Unbelievable depth, and they need that. They need that to get that inevitable Champions League trophy.
That's a late challenge by Gunning-Williams. She's involved again here, and eventually the free kick has been given. And she'll get a yellow card, I think, for the first challenge.
I don't think she'll mind that. She's been put on that pitch to disrupt and to carry on the great work that her teammates have been doing defensively, and that's putting herself about and making it really difficult, putting your body on the line and trying to stop this Chelsea team from playing.
Well, Gracelow went for the pocket there and then seemed to change her mind, and just a word towards Gunning-Williams. Walsh. Now Bjorn. Tottenham with those 4 forwards on the pitch now as they try and take something from this game. Carpenter. Tottenham will have the throw-in. When people look at the stats at the end of this game, if they haven't seen it, they'll think it was one-sided, and the reality is it has been, but Tottenham are still in the game, and that's credit to them. Koga. We really have seen the two sides of the game here today. Attacking verve and defensive belligerence as Berman is able to clear Neville. There was Berman again. Koga. Almost drops for Thomas. Carpenter was there to clear away. And Kerr just caught by Koga, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, the counter was on there, wasn't it? I think Koga was following Kerr every step of the way. Could have maybe just held her up, but just stopped the play, slowed the game down. I think that passage of play from Tottenham was good. Probably one of the only times we've seen them actually playing higher up the pitch in Chelsea's half.
Bjorn. Now Carpenter. Solid challenge from Neildon, but Chelsea have it again here. And eventually they will get the free kick. And Neildon just needs to be careful. Catching right in can reach. He's on a yellow card.
Yeah, it's been a good battle between these two this afternoon, and see, she just pops up on the wrong side using the shoulder. Just put Canariff off of her stride.
Well, a free kick for Chelsea as they look to seal the deal here. Cuthbert is over it. High from Cuthbert, but beyond Bright and headed wide by Kerr. And she was left.
It was a free header. Tottenham defender switched off. She peeled off of Ashley Neville there and almost just trying to guide it into the bottom corner and just off target, but yeah, Tottenham defence switched off. You don't want to be switching off when you've got a player like Sam Kerr in the box.
Chelsea on the way to extending that incredible home record. Only one loss in 50 home games coming into this one. Bunny Shaw, the only player to have scored a winning goal against them in that run when Manchester City won here in February of 2024. And of those 50, they've won 47 of them. They haven't quite won this one yet. Here is Walsh. Now Bright. Macario. Right in Canary. Away from Neville. But it deflects in the end off Summerton into the arms of Kopp.
Yeah, it was a great diagonal ball to find Wrighton.
Gura Wrighton, a player who has had very few starts so far this season. Won the penalty in the Champions League to rescue a point against Twente on Wednesday. Of course, she was on penalties for a long time, but Sandy Baltimore took it and scored. Manchester United have extended their lead at Everton. Jess Park, who played so well in that game last week against Chelsea, has their third. They were a goal down with over an hour played, but they continue their strong start to the season. London City Lionesses still leading West Ham by a goal to nil, and no goals between Villa and Leicester. Koga all the way back. So it looks like West Ham will continue their 100% record at the start of the season, but not the one they were looking for.
Yeah, really worrying times for West Ham. Find themselves drift at the bottom of the table, and when you're coming up against those teams in and around you, you need to be picking up points. But really bad start for them so far.
Liverpool, the other team, without a point so far. They meet Manchester City today, so interesting game for Gareth Taylor as Spurs make another change here. Charlotte Grant, the Australian, coming on. Amanda Neildon coming off, and maybe that's because of that yellow card.
Yeah, she's had her hands full this afternoon. Neildon up against Cannerid, but you know, she's done well for large parts of the game. Been very busy, out of possession.
2 minutes to play. It's a good turn from Holt, but again, when Chelsea have to defend, there are so many blue shirts around the ball.
Yeah, that's why they're the best. See there, Olivia Holt just crying out for a teammate to support her or being able to find a pass, but she can't because there's blue shirts all around her.
Grant will take the throw in. He's helped on by Holt towards Gunning Williams. Artinen. Hit away by Macario. Kurt. Chelsea have the throw in. And they are easing towards another victory and another clean sheet. Alessia Thompson playing her part. Lucy Bronze sat just in front of her. Her first involvement in a matchday squad this season following her injury at the Euros.
Yeah, but she's itching to get back out there on that pitch, but she's going to have to wait her turn.
Grant may have a problem here. Brighton. But Grant recovers, and it's a corner.
Grant almost caught in no man's land there. All fell nicely to Brighton, but as you say, Grant recovered to get the block in.
But Thompson's arrival also has shaken things up for Chelsea as well, in an attacking sense. And when you look at the bench, I think every single player on that bench would start for any other team in the Women's Super League, and that's the problem for everybody else. Cuthbert will deliver this corner kick in, and Kurt sends it behind. Kerr, of course, coming back from her long-term injury. And even players like Oriane Jean-Francois and Maika Hamano, young players, and they have that quality. And what Bonpastor knows is that if they do have to come in, they will do a job.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It doesn't matter when they make substitutions, the levels on the pitch don't drop at all, and they can rotate, and we saw that midweek. They're going to have to, if they're going to fight on all fronts again and try and get that Champions League trophy. They need a squad that, you know, you almost have 3 players for every position.
We're into a minimum of 4 more minutes. And here comes Lucy Bronze. And she will replace Ellie Carpenter. Two players who have both won the Women's Champions League with Lyon. And Bronze back in the action after her injury, playing for England, of course. Played through the pain barrier to win another European Championship, and now she's back on the field for Chelsea.
Absolutely, and I think the fact that she played the Euros, won the Euros with a broken bone in her leg just sums up the mentality and warrior she is.
Manchester United enjoying themselves now on Merseyside. Jess Park with her second late in the game. 4-1 they lead now. And Everton led that game for so long, but it's going to be Big home defeat for them. And Tottenham heading for their second loss, of course. If it stays like this, they'll have been beaten by both Manchester City and Chelsea, which maybe gives Martin Ho an idea of exactly where they are, and maybe he won't be too surprised by what he's discovered.
No, I think, you know, when you come up against the top teams, it's a chance to benchmark yourself against the best, and he made it very clear he was unhappy with the performance against Man City, and that they needed to learn, and they needed to learn quickly. And I think today you can see that they have. You know, they're coming up against the champions, the reigning champions, and they haven't done themselves a disservice. I think they expected to be out of possession, and they needed to be defensively organised and resilient, and for large parts we've seen that. So yes, they'll be unhappy to go away if this ends in a loss, but I think there's many positives that they can take for it. And you know, there's been games against Chelsea where Chelsea have got one goal and the floodgates have opened against Tottenham, and this hasn't happened this afternoon.
And this, a quality of performance which would possibly beat maybe at least 8 of the teams in the Women's Super League.
Yeah, absolutely.
On their day.
Yeah, agreed.
Summonen. Thomas. If they score now, it's a very different story, of course. Tamberg sliding in, but catching Cuthbert, that will be a free kick. And they're in Cuthbert once again, putting in another 90-minute performance. And a free kick, which may be the final action. Koga's header away. Now Cuthbert. Bright. The chase for Wrighting Canarine, but unable to keep the ball in play, and that's it. Chelsea win again, but they were made to work hard for it by a resilient Tottenham performance. Kira Walsh with the only goal just after the hour. It is finished. Chelsea 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. So Kira Walsh takes the congratulations of her teammates. The match winner for Sonia Bonpastor. A game which Chelsea dominated for so long, but they had to work really hard to score the only goal. And it took something special to beat Lizzie Kopp. Chelsea with 27 shots, only 4 on target. But after a couple of draws, this was certainly a dominant display from Sonia Bonpastor's team. And they will move on to the Women's Champions League once again, with their place at the top of the table secure. And Jenna Schillaci, in a strange way, it's a game which both teams will take a good deal from. Chelsea have got the win, which is important, but Tottenham showed that they belong at a higher level than last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chelsea, they found a way to win, which was really important after the frustrating week they've had in Champions League and WSL. So, yeah, Chelsea find the way to win again. And for Tottenham, I think, of course, they'll be disappointed to come away after putting in such a defensively outstanding performance this afternoon. But, yeah, I think they'll be frustrated, but I think defensively they were excellent. They were resilient, they defended their box excellently, and they made it really difficult, and that's what Martin wanted from his team, to be difficult to beat this season, and we saw that this afternoon. And like you say, I think they'll come up against many teams throughout this season. If they put in displays like that, they'll come away with points.
Your thoughts on that team performance? Yeah, I felt like today we really played together and we were able to fight for each other on the field, and I feel like this game, our win, was definitely a team performance. I feel like we, as a whole, stayed together the whole game and just had a great performance overall.
You were having so much joy in that match, taking on defenders. You look to love it as well, Alyssa. Do you think there are any players in this league that you won't be able to beat in a foot race?
I don't know. I bet on myself a lot of the time. I think I'm pretty fast, so I don't know.
How have you found settling into life at Chelsea?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, having Kat and Nay here from the US has been amazing. I feel like everyone on the team has been super welcoming, and I feel like I'm just learning so much already, which is so great, and the players on my team are amazing, so being able to come into training every day with them is great.
Can you just give us some insight into the dressing room and Sonia and at half-time, what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying keep going at them. We had a pretty good first half, and we were creating chances. We just needed to put it in the back of the net, so we all had confidence in each other, and yeah, just keep doing the same things we were doing.
And just a final one on Kira Walsh's goal, outside the box. She's been taking a few of those on this season, but it was the accuracy about it that you must have admired as well.
Yeah, Kira's such a great player. I feel like that shot we knew was coming, so being able to just have that accuracy, we see it in training, and previous goals, so just having her finish that off for us was great.
Let's see your reaction to this then, Alyssa. You are the Barclays WSL Player of the Match. Here's your trophy.
Wow, thank you so much. Really,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I agree with Alyssa Thompson. I think she's pretty quick as well, as she wins the Player of the Match award. And Chelsea winning this game by 1-0. And as we can see, it was a defensive display from Tottenham. 45 clearances in the game, 13 headed clearances. It was all about trying to keep Chelsea out. And they were unable to do that with the goal from Kira Walsh. And Chelsea with another victory and another clean sheet. And it's now 12 wins out of 12 against Tottenham in the Women's Super League. And here are the full-time highlights. And it was Alyssa Thompson with an early effort which whistled wide, and she was heavily involved throughout. Shot there from Erin Cuthbert, taking a deflection and spinning wide, but Tottenham had the odd attack in the first half, and Tandberg seeing a shot here deflected wide off Natalie Bjorn. And then Thompson playing in Beaver Jones, but Lizzie Kopp was able to deal with that. And from various set pieces in both halves, Chelsea were unable initially to find a way through. It was always going to take, Jenna, something special.
Yeah, it was. I think Tottenham defended very well. They defended their box, and we knew it was going to be something special, and possibly from range to be able to beat and break down this Tottenham defence.
Lizzie Kopp making that save there from Thompson, right in Cannery, then bursting into the penalty area, heading through the challenges. Captain finding Thompson, but it was a great block in the end inside the penalty area by Ashley Neville, and she had a fine game. Also had the issue of trying to deal with Thompson's pace. And then Carpenter trying her luck from long range, but it didn't quite dip enough. And right in Cannery, once again denied. And Kira Walsh gathering the ball here, just checking onto that right foot, and that is some finish.
Oh, superb finish. Just gets the ball out of her feet, loses Beth England, gets over the ball and just drills it into the bottom corner. Really special strike from Kira Walsh from range.
And Kira Walsh scoring her second goal of the season, and that was enough to win the game. Chelsea kept pressing. Carpenter delivering the ball in here. And it broke back to Macario, then Cuthbert with the back heel. Beaver Jones on the turn, but the effort was smothered. And although Tottenham produced some heroic performances defensively, they ended up on the losing side. Elsewhere, No goals between Aston Villa
a little bit more
and
maybe at times,
Leicester. And then Manchester United with 4 second-half goals, 2 late ones from Jess Park, beating Everton by 4 goals to 1. And Kosovari Aslani with the only goal. London City Lionesses with another 1-0 win, this time against West Ham. They remain bottom of the table. Coming up later on in the Barclays Women's Super League, Arsenal against Brighton, and then Liverpool against Manchester City.
No, she was outstanding. Yeah, Amanda in terms of 1v1.
So a victory for Chelsea by a single goal to 0. Hope you enjoyed the game. From Jenna Scalacci and myself, Nigel Adderley, it's goodbye.